Here we're going to be evaluating in some functions. So we have a polynomial function, p of x, and a rational function, r of x. And we can evaluate any number or variable in here. We're going to start with p of -3, which I want to be careful to plug into the correct function. It's p of x. I'm just going to set up each x getting replaced in parentheses. So I'm going to have a parentheses squared minus 6 times the set of parentheses plus 10. And I'm going to replace those parentheses with a -3 in there. If you don't use parentheses in a calculator, it will not come out correct. If you are without a calculator, you could try to do it in your head. So -3 squared, -3 times -3 would be a positive 9. -6 times -3 would be a positive 18. It has a plus 10 at the end. So we are getting 37 either with our calculator or without, going piece by piece. Next one we have here is r of -5. So I want to be super careful to plug into r this time. I'm going to replace each x with a set of parentheses. So we have x plus 5. In the bottom we have 2x plus 20. And I'm plugging in -5 for each of those x's. In the top I have -5 plus 5, which is 0. In the bottom I have 2 times -5 is -10 plus 20. 20 minus 10 is 10. 0 divided by anything is just 0. So that's evaluating numbers. This last one is quite a bit more complicated because we are plugging in a new variable. So we are going to replace each x, instead of with a number, it's going to be replaced with a 4c minus 1. So I'm going to leave some space. Instead of x squared, I'm going to have 4c minus 1 squared. I'm just going to do a set of parentheses for right now, and then plug in 4c minus 1. Which means I'm going to have to do some side work, because to figure out what 4c minus 1 squared is, I have to multiply it with itself. So 4c minus 1 squared means it's 4c minus 1 times 4c minus 1, right? Anything squared is multiplied with itself. So multiplying this out, we have 4c times 4c is 16c squared. My outer part here, 4c times -1 is -4c. My inner piece, -1 times 4c is -4c. And last, I have -1 times -1 is a positive 1. So it really ends up being, I can combine my c's, this piece ends up being 16c squared minus 8c plus 1. Combining minus 4c and minus 4c gives us minus 8c. My next piece, I would have to distribute -6 to 4c minus 1. So -6 times 4c is -24c. -6 times -1 would be plus 6. And at the end, I have a plus 10. Now I can go to try to combine some like terms. I'm going to start with that 16c squared. There's no other squared term to combine it with. But for the c terms, I have -8c minus 24c. So I'm going to have -32c. And then for my constant at the end, I have a 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 10 is going to give us 17. So my final answer is going to be 16c squared minus 32c plus 17. When you replace x with another variable, your final answer is going to be a variable. When you replace x with a number, your final answer is going to be a number. So a different looking answer for that one that we have to FOIL and distribute to get to.